All right, so I'm seeing this debate brewing up, and it's actually been brewing up for a minute on NBA, Twitter, social media, all of that stuff. And I'm seeing a lot of Paolo Banchero and Victor Wembanyama comparisons. And I like this debate. I like this conversation a lot. I actually talked about this on a video on a separate channel I did like last year or something like that. And the point is that Paolo, as great of a player as he is, he has done some very significant things, some really abnormal things for a young player like him at this point in his career, just 2 years in. He's done these great things, but I always felt like his shine was taken away way too quickly, right? And that kind of started in his rookie year. He had a historic rookie season that I'm going to talk a little bit more about in a second. But like during the middle part of his rookie season, the Victor Wembanyama hype was like at an all-time high. So many people were already talking about the next draft class while Paolo Banchero was doing some amazing things during his rookie year, right? While Wemby didn't play a single NBA game up to this point in his career, Paula was doing some amazing stuff. I'm going to kind of go down a list of some of the accolades and things that he did from an individual standpoint in his first year here. So let's start at his debut. His debut was historic within and of itself. He had one of the best rookie debuts of all time. He joined LeBron as the only player to put up at least 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in their debut. Another interesting, weirdly specific record he set was he became the second teenager to put up at least 30 points and 15 rebounds in a game, once again, joining LeBron. Saying all of this to say, Paolo had one of the best rookie of the year runs in a long time, but as I said, it was immediately outshined by the Victor Wembanyama hype. I get it. I understand it because you look at Victor Wembanyama and how talented he is as a player, 7'4", with a very complete skill set, and also had one of the best rookie seasons in a while. So he's lived up to the hype, winning rookie of the year and also nearly winning defensive player of the year. So I understand the hype for Wemby. I understood the hype for Wemby at that point in time. But like I said, it took way too much attention and shine away from Banchero. It kind of felt like that Toy Story meme where I think it was like Andy dropping one of his toys and picking up another one, talking about, I want to play with you anymore. Like, I feel like that's how fans were treating Paolo Banchero at that particular point in time. And as I said, it's not me downing Wembanyama at all because he is a hell of a player, a hell of a talent. Definitely is going to be one of those guys sometime down the road that we consider as a GOAT, right? Like, I think he'll be in that conversation at some point. But Paolo could also be in that conversation. His ascension to being a future face of this league has to be paid attention to as well, almost just as much as Wemby. Look at where his team is right now. I legitimately think the Magic are like a season away from being a legitimate championship contender in the East with how they ended last season and also with the additions they made to their roster while getting KCP, who's going to do a great job when it comes to helping them from a three-point shooting perspective, which they struggled with last season. And once again, I'm going to say this again, I'm going to reiterate, this does not mean Wemby is overhyped or we're overreacting to Wemby. That's not the case at all. But I'm also, what I really want to drill down on, right, is I feel like the way that we've kind of ignored Paolo a bit has been unfair because for 2 years now, he's given us every single reason to lose our minds over his play. He's done so many crazy, crazy things at this point that people are just kind of brushing away and sweeping under the rug. In just his second year, he led his team to a deep 7-game playoff battle against a way more experienced Cavaliers team, and he really did show up on that stage. It wasn't like a thing where he got there and just wasn't ready to adjust to playing at a playoff level. He put up 27 points and nearly 9 rebounds and shot the 3 ball at 40% on almost 6 attempts per game. So that's really high volume. He was amazing. He was advanced in the playoffs against a really, really good Cavs team, right? So his game may not be as aesthetically pleasing as Victor. Victor is literally one of the most entertaining players, not just in basketball, but in all of sports. But Paolo has accomplished a lot, and he needs to be way more of a focal point in mainstream hoops media. So good example here. The schedule was just released for the upcoming season. The Magic, who were a playoff team last year and who were simply one of the best defensive teams in the NBA last season, they only have 9 nationally televised regular season games this coming season, while the Spurs have 21, right? That is a 12-game difference, which is absolutely huge when it comes to nationally televised games. That is a really good, proven playoff team led by a really good, proven all-star player in Paolo Banchero compared to a really bad rebuilding Spurs team led by a generational talent, Victor Wembanyama. Now, next season, they may end up being better than what they were last season. I actually put a lot of money on the point that they will be better than what they were last season. But you get my point, right? Orlando should not have just 9 nationally televised games. They are way too good for that. And I get it. From the NBA standpoint, it is a business decision. You're going to put on national TV who you think people are going to watch the most, but it still proves my point that Paolo isn't getting as much shine when he is legitimately one of the 3 best rising stars in the entire league. Like, for him to be this good while they're at the absolute bottom half of the league when it comes to nationally televised games this season, it's kind of crazy. He's an all-star player. Just 9 nationally televised games? Now, on the bright side, this could end up fueling him a bit this coming season, but what I don't want to happen for him is for him to have like these ridiculous performances and put up these ridiculous stats and numbers and things like that, and we just miss out on it or forget about it because there may be other storylines that are pushed on a lot more that are kind of pushing him out, like we've already seen happen at this point in his career. So again, this is not a diss towards Wemby because I'm the biggest Victor Wembanyama fan on the planet. Please go look at my Twitter feed. I have a ton of Victor Wembanyama appreciation posts on there, but I 100% think that we're missing out a ton on what Paolo's doing and how much he's impressed at this point in his career.